Hey everybody, welcome back to the IBD Dietitian YouTube channel. My name is Nicole. I'm a registered dietitian with Crohn's disease. My goal with this channel is to review the scientific research on nutrition and inflammatory bowel disease and break down in a way that's easy to understand and give you ideas to put it into practice with your diet and lifestyle. Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis are two very different diseases, almost to the point where I wish they weren't categorized under the same umbrella. And a lot of the nutrition research in regards to intervention tends to be geared more towards Crohn's disease and less towards ulcerative colitis. So a lot of the nutrition information that I'm going to be sharing will likely be more geared towards Crohn's. That's not to say I'm going to leave out ulcerative colitis. If I find anything, of course, I'm going to share it. Also, I have Crohn's disease, so I have more experience personally with it, but I will share as much as I can for each part of the disease process as possible. Also remember, if you have any particular questions for yourself or for others, be sure to comment the questions down below. I have a Facebook page, Wake Nutrition. You could check that out. It's Wake-Nutrition. I'll probably be working on a new one for specifically IBD. I'm working on a website. I will share that when I have that available. And I do have a Twitter page that I have linked to this page. So you can always tweet at me. Email me wakenutrition33@gmail.com. If you have questions, I would love to respond to you and to give you as much feedback as I possibly can. So let's dive into the nutrition details for today's video. The information I will be talking about today is backed by a review article by ESPN. ESPN, which stands for the European Society for Clinical Nutrition and Metabolism. It is the go-to source for clinical dietitians, usually for tube-feeding parenteral nutrition, which is the TPN. But this article talked about diet with inflammatory bowel disease, which I was so excited to find. So the first thing is probiotics. Now, a lot of us have heard about probiotics and probiotics being useful to mess with the microbiome, which could help possibly heal disease. The research for diet and the microbiome, particularly for Crohn's disease, is not great. It doesn't really support the use of probiotics. One thing, normally what I say is when you try something, it won't hurt you, but with probiotics, I can't say that you should try it and see what happens, particularly if you have Crohn's disease. If it messes up your microbiome, that can make things worse. So this article said that probiotics may be helpful in ulcerative colitis, but not Crohn's. So if you have ulcerative colitis, definitely go ahead, try out probiotics. There are multiple different strains. There's a lot of more detail when it comes to which probiotics that you should be taking. If you take a bunch in a little tiny capsule, the chances are you will not be getting all of those different strains because they fight each other. Some of them die off. So I can upload more about this if you're interested. The second thing I want to talk about is protein. Protein for active disease. So when you have a lot of inflammation, you have a lot of flaring, protein is critical, and you need an increased amount of protein compared to the normal standard population. So we're looking at 1.2 to 1.5 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. So I'm going to do a quick math here. So I take my kilograms, I will share with you approximately 68 kilograms. So if I'm looking at 1.2 grams, that is 81 grams of protein to 102 at the 1.5 grams per kilogram. As a dietitian, I believe that 1.5 grams per kilogram body weight is a lot of protein. That's usually what we recommend for somebody with like bed sores, pressure ulcers. If they have like a really deep bad one, we would say 1.5 grams per kilogram body weight. So they were looking at, sorry, I forgot the 1.2, 81 grams to about 105 grams of protein per day. Now I know that because of my intolerances, because solid food tends to hurt, I'm probably getting 20 to 30 grams of protein per day, and that's on a good day. So 81 grams is quite a target to hit. I am looking at doing different protein powders, doing protein shakes, because the actual food tends to hurt my system. And L-glutamine, there is some research, particularly in rats, that L-glutamine supplementation can help heal the mucosal lining. So I am going to start taking that, waiting for that shipment to arrive in the mail. I will let you know my results with that, of course. That's one of those things where I'm like, it can't hurt. You might as well try it. If you can afford it, try L-glutamine supplements, because there is some research that shows it could help heal the mucosal lining. So that's protein. As far as if you're in remission, protein is the same as the rest of the population. So you're looking at 1 gram per kilogram body weight protein. So for me, with the active flare, it's 81 grams at the 1.2 level. So we're looking at 68 grams of protein for not active disease for myself. Next, third thing is micronutrient deficiencies. I can guarantee if you're having active disease right now, you're not eating a healthy diet, you have micronutrient deficiencies. Work with your doctor, get blood testing done, determine what vitamins and minerals you are deficient in. I'm going to list off a bunch of them. Vitamins A, vitamins D, vitamin B12, iron, zinc, vitamin E, folic acid, vitamin B2, which is also riboflavin, and vitamin D3, also niacin. Those are vitamins and minerals that you need to be checked to see if you're deficient in. They have a very intense role, some of them in the mucosal lining healing. So if you are deficient, you are likely not going to repair your tissues. And they also play a role in the immune system. Iron supplementation is highly controversial in the literature. Oral iron supplements are not well absorbed, and they can pass down into the colon unabsorbed, which can affect your microbiome in a negative way. It'll kill off the good bacteria. It'll help create the growth of the bad bacteria. So if you need iron supplementation, work with your doctor. Try to get IV iron. If that is not possible, if you're not deficient enough, your doctor doesn't feel like it's appropriate, the next step would be through food, of course. So we're looking at red meat. Now I know this is controversial for people with inflammatory bowel disease, but eating red meat is the highest absorbed iron in the diet. Eating that with some vitamin C, so any little small amount of fruit juice, you only need half a cup of fruit juice to properly absorb iron. Any fruits that you can tolerate, any canned fruits, anything with vitamin C. A smoothie, if you're not making it with any kind of milks or yogurts, so you're just taking some fruit, some water, blending it, drinking that, usually well tolerated, high in vitamin C. The dairy, calcium, vitamin D can actually inhibit your iron absorption, so you don't want that when you're trying to increase your iron absorption. On a side note, it is very important that you're consuming calcium and vitamin D, just not while you're eating your iron, just different times a day. Okay. So that's it for the specific nutrient compounds that I want to talk about today. The other thing I wanted to bring up was the different IBD diets that are out there. As part of this review article, they brought up this too. So they looked at the specific carbohydrate diet, the Paleolithic diet, gluten-free diet, and low FODMAP diet. These have very little to no scientific backing. Also, they're highly restrictive, and given that with inflammatory bowel disease, you are likely already deficient in many nutrients, they mess with the macronutrient composition that you're consuming. You're not getting enough of certain things that you need. I don't recommend following any of these restrictive diets. They're hard to stick with. As far as tolerance, I've tried the gluten-free thing, and gluten-free foods make it worse. They make my digestive system worse. I have not seen, and I don't believe that avoiding gluten, avoiding dairy as a blanket approach is worth it. If you know for a fact that gluten bothers you, that dairy bothers you, you're 100% certain, of course, avoid it. But otherwise, I think they can have a healthy part in all of our diets. So it's important to work with your doctor, your deficiencies, finding ways to supplement the nutrients you need, and incorporate as many foods as you can tolerate into your system. Now, this is all barely scratching the surface of nutrition and inflammatory bowel disease. If there's a particular topic you'd like me to focus on, please let me know in the comments below. And I will be uploading multiple more, talking about different aspects of nutrition, giving you different resources to help you get through this. I'm working through it too, so I guess that's it. I look forward to speaking with you soon.